So what's up guys, I'm back from Greece, I'm back in Germany, I'm ready to make more tutorials, but today is not a tutorial day. Today I'm finally going to review your guys' work. So you sent me a lot of work into my email, which is my business email, and I'm totally losing track, so it really stacked up, so I really have to start making this video, and that's also a good point. Also my Instagram is starting to stack up, so I'm having issues responding to everyone, or like emails get lost, and maybe even some of your guys' work got lost. So I kind of lost track, to be honest. That's why I finally created a Discord server that has different rooms. So I've got a meme room in the Discord server. I've got different rooms. I've got a Q&A room where even you guys can help each other maybe sometimes if I can't always respond to every single one. And most importantly, we can play games together in the Discord server, so that's also going to be pretty fun. So I think just this Discord server can be a really cool community that we can create together to help each other, and yeah, just have fun at the end of the day. So I'll put the link of the Discord server in the description. So I hope everyone joins and says hi, and then together, I don't know, let's just start to create a cool community together. I think that could be pretty cool. So now I'm going to jump right into the video. Usually I save the best for last, but this story of this guy was so interesting that I just had to put it into the very front so everyone sees it. So we're just going to jump right into it. So I got this email from a guy in Madagascar, like an island in Africa. So if we go to Google, wait. So if we Google Madagascar, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing or spelling it correctly. So it's a little island in Africa. I don't know who knows it. I definitely knew about it. I never went there, but it looks like a really cool place, actually. So this guy is there and doing Blender. I already thought that was very interesting. Then we kept writing messages back and forth, and he said that he's having issues earning money with Blender, and he actually hasn't earned any money with Blender, which is normal, I guess. And he's working in a clothing shop and basically living a basic life and doing 3D, which is the average. But then I saw his portfolio, and I couldn't believe he's not earning any money with this portfolio. So I just had to shout him out right at the beginning of this video, and you guys just have to see what this guy is doing. And he has to earn money. Like, I don't know how he even managed to not earn money yet with Blender. So this is one of his renders. This is a Porsche 911, if I see correctly. And I wouldn't be able to make it much better, to be honest. So it's very nice. He's got dirt on the tires. I don't know, you see it, like, I don't even have to say anything about this. Like, it's just a really good render. I was very impressed seeing this portfolio. So if we go to the next render of a Mitsubishi, this is also very nice. This is marketing quality. Like, the reflections, maybe on a real job, maybe the client would want to tweak and improve, but this is definitely the level they're looking for, and this definitely can generate quite a lot of money if you get to the right people. And then he sent me another rendering of an old house, which I think looks so cool. It's just so good. I was just so impressed. Like, of course, I've seen good portfolios before, but not good portfolios from someone doing this as a hobby and still not being able to get generating money with his work. So I just had to share it. Here's another render he did. This is like a pocket watch, I guess, and it's so detailed and the materials are so good. And so to top off this funny story of this guy in Madagascar having a really good portfolio and not working in the 3D industry, I asked for his Instagram, and I went over to his Instagram. I don't have it open right now, but I'll show it in the editing. And he had 0 followers, and I couldn't believe it. And then I followed him, and then he had 1 follower, so it's me. And I actually emailed him again, and I asked him if I should shout out his Instagram, because I actually forgot. And then he mentioned again that I'm the only person following him. And then I remembered. I don't know, I just thought the story was so funny and interesting, and actually kind of sad that this guy is just not seen by anyone, even though he's so good. Yeah, that's why I'm just gonna share his Instagram channel here. If everyone that like is interested in his work, definitely follow him. I know he doesn't have any posts yet, but he also doesn't have any followers. So I think if we start following this guy, he's gonna start posting, And I don't know, he just really deserves support. And I kind of felt bad seeing him, yeah, just no one caring about his work, kind of, even though it's so good. So yeah, that's why I put him right in front of this video. This is the first thing I wanted to review. And he has other great renders. He's probably going to post all of them on Instagram. I don't want to show all of his renders yet, but they're all very good. So yeah, definitely follow him if you can on Instagram, and I think he's going to be very happy about it. He's a super nice guy, super humble in the emails, just a really cool guy that really deserves it. So definitely check out his Instagram. So I really wanted to fill this in for the beginning of the video because I just thought he definitely deserves it. So now we're going to go further into reviewing your renders. So one guy, he has a reference photo of this product, so normal, and he rendered this product, which looks very good in my opinion. So if I would critique this or review this, maybe I would add a fade below under the reflection so it fades out to white. Also, you can notice here there's still gray in the image. For Amazon and product renderings, try to keep a perfectly white background, but you can still keep in reflections if you want and some shadow. Yeah, otherwise I really like this rendering. Maybe I would have a more symmetric light setup, so the light is a bit unsymmetric and a bit crooked, which looks fine, but I think on a real client job, I'd try to have symmetric light. Otherwise, the materials look pretty good. I like this rendering. I would sell a rendering like this. I would buy a rendering like this, so if anyone wants to do product renderings, this is definitely a good example and a good reference. So next, here a guy sent me a video of a bus. So this is also very good. I like the materials. I don't know if you can see the video, but there's a very harsh bump on the car paint or the bus paint. I don't like it too much. And also the blooms are way too intense. So if you would look at real photos or real videos of real cars, this bloom makes it look a bit cheap in 3D. So I'd either kill the bloom or make it very decent, so not as intense. The ground is cool. I like the look of it, but the quality isn't good enough. So definitely get a higher resolution floor and maybe add a roughness bump to the floor so it slightly reflects and just looks a bit better. Also, I assume this is probably an Eevee render, so definitely turn on screen space reflections if it's not already on. So otherwise, yeah, here you can see the bump a bit better. I don't like it at all. Maybe the bump is good, but it's just way too intense. Yeah, way too much bloom. The camera motion. So a good camera motion, in my opinion. So these are okay. So two things that I don't like. The camera is easing in and easing out. So it starts slow, gets faster, and slows down again. So this is the typical curve in Blender, but you shouldn't do that. You should press V for vector and change the curve from a smooth S to a straight line, because in real life, usually you would use a glide cam or sliders or tracts. So the camera just moves in a constant speed. That's how they cut it up, and it just looks better than stopping, moving faster, and then stopping again. Just have a smooth movement, so straight curve in the camera movement. And also another thing, think about real cameras. A camera movement like this around the bus is quite hard to make in real life, and it could look a bit cheap. So what real cameras do, and also a lot of marketing videos, are very smooth and simple cameras actually. So try to use simple constant speeds in the camera, and they go along a straight line. So they don't do this crazy curve movement. They just move from A to B, very straight tracks, and that will look more professional and just more high quality, in my opinion, but also from experience. I know that that's what clients want. So also here, the camera is a bit too crazy. The depth of field comes too late. I wouldn't stop the camera ever. Always keep the camera moving at least a little bit. The reflections are okay if you're going for the style, but they're a bit too crisp on the car paint. Like here's perfect white and perfect black. I think it's a bit too intense. So maybe try giving the glass or whatever it is a slight roughness or something that kind of breaks it up a little bit so it doesn't look too clean. Otherwise, not too bad. And everyone, of course, starts somewhere. So any critique I'm giving, of course, is just a general critique. So I can tell you a funny story. So in art school, I was supposed to draw a cube and in like 2 point or 2 point perspective. So left and right, perspective, and then you draw this cube, like a perspective cube. So I drew this cube, but I was so bored that I drew a whole city, but all in this perspective. I drew a playground, I drew everything. And then I got, so in Germany, there's 1 is the best and 6 is the worst. And I got a 5 minus. Because I failed the topic. But I said I followed the 2 point perspective, and even the front house I kept as a square, like as a cube, and I just added windows, but it was a cube house, and only the other houses I made cool houses. And yeah, I failed the test. So my teacher, let me fail through art because I drew a full city instead of a cube. So what I'm trying to say is the critique doesn't like change anything really. So you can listen to the critique, you can learn to the critique, but it doesn't mean anything. So you can ignore my critique or take my critique. It doesn't matter. It's just a general critique. So I'm not saying anything is bad or even good. I'm not saying anything. It's just me talking. So you can take it or leave it. So just try to understand that for any critique you ever get, actually. So don't be discouraged or give up or anything. That would be the worst. I'm just giving general critique for you to improve. But of course, you can disagree with what I say. That's totally fine. So here's another render. This is a Bugatti. What can I say about this? It's pretty good, definitely. But what I don't like is that the car isn't really popping out enough. I think some parts are too dark. So especially for marketing shots of cars, it's very important to see the shape. So I think a lot of parts are dying into darkness a little bit. I think maybe it's not enough motion blur, or at least the lines on the road are way too close to each other. So I would try using more realistic lines. The backdrop image is fine, but the resolution isn't good enough. So this would be a lot of tweaking, but it's going in the right direction. I like it. And it has like all the elements I would use myself, but I think it just needs some tweaking. So it's a bit hard to say how to improve. And also the rear lights, they're too red, like just one even red. I don't like that too much. So I don't know the Bugatti headlights exactly, but they're probably going to have more reflections than just red. So that makes it look a bit cheap, I think, the rear lights. So just if you would improve those, it would already really improve. And also the reflections in the window, I think because the white comes from the bottom. I don't know, something looks a bit strange here. Maybe you also need some city reflections, actually. Maybe the backdrop you can reflect in the car paint, to be honest, so the car just fits a bit better and the background doesn't look like a wallpaper. But otherwise it looks pretty good. It's a pretty good starting. I also don't know how long any of you guys are already doing 3D. So some might be beginners and already very far. Some might be professional and not that far. So I have no idea. I'm just looking at what I get. That's my critique for this image. So next, this one is funny. I have no idea what this is. I don't even have critique or anything. I just thought this was so cool. I wanted to add it to the video because it's just so creative, and I tend to not do anything really creative anymore because I get so much work and the client wants exactly this, so I usually don't have space to be creative. And this is something I personally would never make, which isn't good. I should be making stuff like this because it's creative and you're thinking out of the box. So I really like this render. I have no critique. I just really like to see something like this because it was just so random. So I really like this. Definitely want to share that. Also, this is exactly the same. Like, I personally would never make this, but I really want to share this because this is something you can also do in Blender, something that I never think about. So I thought this was pretty cool. Maybe if you want one critique, I think it would be cooler if the video would loop so it doesn't ease out and ease in. But otherwise, very cool render. Then I have this. So this is also very good. So we've got a Lamborghini here. So the camera is too connected to the car. Definitely give the camera some wiggle space and some bounciness and some movement. The camera is, so it's probably parented to the car. I wouldn't do that. It's interesting, but I think it's too extreme. And also think about where this camera would be in real life, and it would probably stick on the car, but not this far away. So if it's like a GoPro view, you can have a wide angle GoPro maybe on the car, so it looks more realistic. But this in front of the car and pinned to the car, I think looks a bit strange. So I would have a more free-handed camera or a more wide angle close GoPro style camera on this. The car paint is very crazy. You can like it or dislike it. I won't say anything about it. I think it's very interesting. It's something a client wouldn't want because it's too crazy, but for this render, I think it's fine. I really like the smoke simulation. The windows, also good. I imagine there's no interior. That's probably why they are blacked out. Headlights are cool. Everything's cool. Not great, but yeah, gotta start somewhere. It's very good. It's mainly the camera that I don't like, to be honest. Here the road looks extremely good compared to the car and stuff. Also motion blur is very good. The rims are probably way too bright red. I'd make them a bit darker red, and if you can, in Substance Painter, for example, you could add some dirt in the brake so it looks a bit more realistic. The background is pretty cool with the city in the background. Yeah, the drifting is pretty cool. It's really the camera that annoys me. It's all pretty good. This is a very good background, I think. The resolution. Oh, I didn't like how the camera just stopped at all, actually, but still pretty cool. It's cool how the car, yeah, the camera is way too crazy. And you can look straight through the car. You can have, add some blackouts in the grill. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Definitely worth sharing to you guys. So very cool. By the way, I totally lost track of who made what. I just collected the stuff and I didn't note down who posted what. So next time on Discord, probably then, I'm not sure, you guys can share your work on Discord and add like your Instagram or YouTube. And then next time I do reviews, I'm going to share all of your names and stuff. I just totally lost track on these projects, to be honest, who has done what. Sorry about that. But next time, I'll definitely add like all the Instagram accounts and stuff. And I think this video series can be cool for people to show off their work. So hopefully I can help people that no one finds get found by clients or people. I think that would be pretty cool in the future. That's why I definitely want to keep making these videos. Of course, only if people like these, but it's probably pretty interesting to people. So this I also got. I think even today I got this or yesterday, so I really like this. So I don't know what to critique. I just really like this render. I don't know, it's something also I wouldn't do because I rarely do creative stuff, sadly, but this I really like. But if I would like critique anything or review anything, so the lights, the white lights, give them some glare. You could add a plane and maybe add an alpha texture with a glare. So you Google glare or something and you can add this so the lights glare a little bit. And on the metal, so I really like that it's kind of like broken and still chromy. But you could import this in Substance Painter as well, and you could bake out a dirt map and stuff like that for rust or dirt in between the cracks. That will really improve the look of this, to be honest. But I already really like the look. Another thing, I don't know how you rendered this, but somehow there's a bit of weird noise craziness happening here and there. I don't like that too much. But otherwise, I really like this image. I really like the composition. I like the idea. I like everything about this render. It's very cool. So next is a boring but professional product render. This is also very good in my opinion. There's nothing really to improve here. The one thing is maybe the glass is maybe not visible enough, so it looks a little bit like everything is flying. So I'd give the glass maybe some kind of reflection, but just my just what I would do. Maybe also what I would change is the full composition of the image. So you guys can Google rule of thirds. That will really improve your work. There's also very good videos on rule of thirds. So when you're making any render, try to at least follow the basics of the rule of thirds. That will automatically really improve your work. So what else? We got, wait, am I still recording? So I'm still recording. Okay. So next, One guy recreated my tutorial. I think this is very good. It's not finished yet. What I would definitely change is the white background. So a client doesn't like this photo studio style. They like studio reflections, but they don't like a photo studio. So definitely make a white background, brighten everything up. And also I see you've got red or warm and cold light, which is very nice. I do the same. I think you probably use the color blue. I wouldn't use the color blue. Always use a black body node. I don't know if you did here, but it almost looks like it's not a black body, or maybe it's even a HDR. It's a bit hard to say. I don't know how this reflection came, but I wouldn't have color in the light. Just white light, symmetric light. This is almost symmetric, not symmetric enough. And a white background. And then this render is pretty good. Yeah, not too bad. So here's another super creative render I thought was so cool. I have no idea what it is. I guess it's a black hole absorbing light. I don't know. I just thought this was a very cool render. So not sure what to critique here. This is a cool background for my PC actually. Yeah, we had this already. So another render, which I really like. This is almost perfect. So the only things I could critique here, I would want to change myself, is this is not a marketing shot. So this is a little bit like I'm outside with my phone, take a photo. So what you could improve here is create more of a marketing style shot. So maybe go on certain companies, car companies, web pages and just look at what they're publishing for their official marketing cars, and try to maybe first copy and understand what they're doing. Then this will automatically look much more professional if it just has a good composition and just looks more like a marketing rendering. So not the rendering quality, just the composition and the setup of the render you could improve here. Another thing is the tires on car renders and photos usually are rotated exactly the other way, usually around 15 or 33 degrees. So this is cool, but just I'd flip the tire. But of course it's just a style question, whatever you want to do, but clients like the rim to show into the camera. Here you can see by the glare, this is not the Cycles renderer. This is Corona, I think. Yeah, Corona, like the virus. You can use it in Blender. I don't like it personally, but it's personal preference. But just so anyone that doesn't know, by this glare, you can see straight away this is not Cycles. And I think also you mentioned that in the email, if I remember correctly. So yeah, very, very nice render. Only thing to improve is the composition. So another render. This, I don't know if I did something wrong, but somehow these images are tiny, but I want to share them anyways because I just really liked it. So here the same issue. It's not like a marketing shot. The car is a bit to the left, like just the whole camera perspective is a bit off, but otherwise I really like it. I like that he modeled the engine bay and stuff like that. I don't know. I thought this was a cool render. Not sure what to critique. I like it. It's cool style. This is by the same guy with his tiny images. I really like this. Everything looks very good, except there's no driver and no windows. Otherwise, very good. It's pretty good. It's not like a classic car company brand render, but I think that's also not what was intended with a green tuning car. So yeah, I really like this. Here, also same guy. That's why the image is tiny. Yeah, same thing. I really like this. This is more a marketing style, but I think the whole bridge is a bit too low poly, too white and too all over the place. So a good background also follows the rule of thirds and stuff and aims towards the car, and just the composition here, to be honest, is the main thing that is annoying to me, is annoying my eyes, is the composition. But otherwise I also really like this render. This I also thought was so cool. This is so simple and low poly, and you might say maybe he's a beginner, but I don't care, to be honest, because I really like this render. I don't know, I was about to use this as a background for my PC because I don't know, I just really like the shape and this head and these horns and the eyes. I don't know, I really like this render. I definitely wanted to share this, so I have no critique. I just like seeing creative stuff, to be honest. So, and here's another thing I chose. Here again, you could say this is rendered badly because ambient occlusion is missing and reflections, and you could critique all kinds of stuff. But I really like exactly that about this image, because it's just also so creative, so free, and so random with these balls on these triangles and pyramids. And actually, these kind of renders inspire me way more than like a professional car render, because a professional car render is following rules, just make it more realistic. But here, this is theoretically way harder to make because try getting these random ideas. Like I just call this being creative. And yeah, so these renders are actually very inspiring to me to like open my eyes again of what you can do with like just random stuff. So very interesting. So of course you could improve realism, but if this would have been a realistic render, I think I would have been bored. I really like this style. I also like how the camera is just placed here. I don't know. I don't even want to critique it because I like how free this is. This is kind of like when I was supposed to draw a cube, but I drew a full city. This is just showing creativity, and I don't want to destroy that. I don't want to actually give this person any rules. Just stay as free as you are at this moment. Try to stay free. I wish I would still be this free. To be honest, I'm not this free anymore. I always see things you have to do right, vertical lines, rule of thirds, and this, and the shadow and the reflection, material, the shaders off. But here I just really like that it's so random. So very nice render. Thanks for sharing. So this actually, one of my first subscribers actually. So this guy, I'm also going to share here the Instagram because I know him by head. What his Instagram name is. He has this on his Instagram, and I was very impressed by his modeling skills and rendering skills. He's in India also, and he's also just so good. And 21 years old, so quite young, and already so good. And he also hasn't worked for the automotive industry yet, which is surprising to me. So yeah, definitely shouting him out as well. Definitely check out his Instagram. He's got really good stuff. Yeah, what do I want to critique? So if this person would want to work in the automotive industry doesn't like tuning. They don't like this craziness. They don't like this craziness. So what they want is a clean car and a clean room, good composition, theoretically boring, and it shows off all parts. So this is not that. So with this, it's also going to be hard to get into the automotive industry directly, but of course they will see how good the renders are, and they will think, okay, we just teach him some like composition stuff and things that we need, then he can adapt and he will do it right. So the chances that he will get into the automotive industry are very high, actually. But this render in particular isn't a typical commercial render, but still it's very good. Also not sure what to critique here. I actually think it's very cool. So this is also from him. Here I do have some critique. So I like how everything is straight and I like the composition, but here's one thing that annoys me, because this person doesn't use real cameras, and you can see in the render, because the depth of field is way too high compared to how wide angle the camera is. So you can see how the wheels are going inside, and you can see how the windows are going inside. So it's a very wide angle camera, and there's a very low depth of field. So this wouldn't work in real life. That's why for me this render looks off and weird, but still I think it's a cool model and a cool idea, and I like the composition actually. What annoys me is just the camera settings, to be honest, and of course the noise in the render, little things, but otherwise I think this is also a pretty cool render. I'm not sure if this is actual chrome or car paint, so maybe the shaders set wrong than intended, because it's metallic but zero roughness, no clear coat, but maybe that was intended, I don't know. So yeah, very interesting. I definitely want to showcase this as well. So this is the video. So of course this is not a production ready car, so no one should roast this guy or anything. Everyone starts somewhere, but I still really like this car because, once again, I really like when people are creative and free. So I really like the shape actually of this car because it's a bit like crazy and super smooth. I definitely want to share this. I really thought it was pretty cool, and I think this can also even inspire real product designers because, I don't know, you can definitely get some cool ideas. I also somehow like the weird spoiler, but somehow cool. It's kind of like a DuckTales spoiler. So very cool. Oh, so my camera went off. It's back on. So yeah, I really like this. This was also made in CAD, not in Blender as far as I know. So yeah, I thought I'll definitely share this. I thought it can inspire people to get cool ideas. But if I would want to critique this, of course, there's a ton that I could critique. The main thing that I would critique is that there's no spaces in between like door and hood and stuff like that. But otherwise, yeah, of course, it's not a realistic car, but you got to start somewhere. I definitely want to showcase this car because I just like seeing how people are starting out, and I don't know. I thought this was inspiring to me to see, so I definitely want to share this as well for people to see. Definitely head over to his YouTube as well. Follow him. He's definitely going to be happy about that. So another one is this boy. Yeah, here a car animation of a Ferrari. Here, same issue again with the easing in and easing out camera and a bit crazy movements. Definitely keep simple tracks, more like this. Another thing I definitely critique is the car paint. So I see that this car paint is metallic. Wait, where is it? Here. But this is chrome metallic, but a real Ferrari is not chrome metallic. There's also no chrome metallic car paint. It's usually a wrap. So I'd either do this car paint non-metallic and non-rough, red, or metallic, a little bit rough, like 0.4 or 0.45, and add clear coat on 2 and red. And then it will look much more realistic. So that's actually the thing that annoys me most watching this next to the camera. Otherwise, pretty good. I don't know if the Ferrari has chrome rims, but maybe. In the headlight, yeah, I don't like the straight white. I definitely have some glow and some glare, something. I don't know. Something's missing here. It just looks a bit unfinished, but still pretty cool. Yeah, same deal with the car paint here. Same deal with the cameras. Here, maybe on the chrome, you could have like a reflection, so it looks more like chrome. So part of the Ferrari logo is black and the other part is white, so like a light streak goes over it. Just a little idea. Here again, same with the camera, the easing in, easing out. Don't do that. This is too dark. Car paint. But the car itself is really nice. It's really just little things. If you would tweak these little things, it would look way better, I think, at least in my eyes. Yeah, it's very good. Here, the car paint isn't an issue. I actually really like the car paint here. So black car paint is totally fine. The orange is maybe a bit too orange, but it's fine. I like this. I like this more than the Ferrari. It's pretty cool. I also like the environment. It's interesting. So here's an outside environment. Oh, this looks very old school with the texturing. I always go to textures.com and get physical based textures. You can do whatever, but that's maybe one thing I'd improve is the texture work. But this is pretty cool with the tunnel. That's pretty nice. You can add some shake on the camera, so just slight noise. There's in the curves on Blender, you can do modifiers, and there's noise, and you can put it on the Z-axis, so the camera moves a little bit, so it's not perfectly still. Also, when the cars go by, you can like shake it. That would be pretty cool as well. So yeah, when the cars go by, it's like a earthquake. That would be very cool also. Yeah, drifting, pretty cool. The neon light. It's pretty cool. Too bad you didn't put more effort into the environment. I think that it would have looked way better. The normal map was flipped on the wall, but very cool. Super cool. So yeah, just little tweaking here and there. I kind of roasted it a little bit, but just because already pretty good, and it just needs these few things tweaked, and I think it would really improve the look of it. So yeah, but it's a very good start. Definitely pretty cool that you made it. So next, what was this? Here, oh yeah, a product animation. By the way, all the videos have sound, but I'm scared of copyright strikes and stuff, so I'd rather keep the sound off. So here, one thing that I noticed right off the bat, I think there's liquid in this bottle, but it almost looks like there's no liquid in the bottle, but otherwise very cool. And there's classical music to this. I think it was classical, so pretty cool. It really fits the render, and it's very cool how it's so smooth. I really like how this reflection looks. Actually, it looks very nice. I also like the contrast. Like, I really like the look. I don't like this font animation. It's maybe too playful, but I really like this. This is very cool. Like, if anyone wants to get inspired off product animations and renders, this is definitely a good reference. So definitely head over to him as well. He only has 2 subscribers, man, you guys. I don't know how, and 13 views. How are you guys staying under the radar so much? Like, it's almost hard to stay under the radar. Yeah, and I'm the only comment. Definitely check this guy out. I really like his render. What was this? I don't remember who sent me this, but this is also super cool. Like, I don't even have to say anything. There's nothing to critique here, I think, to be honest. This is really just watching his video. And this also has sound, like the legs walk, so definitely check out his video. I don't know, just very cool. Maybe I shouldn't even show it to the end. Oh, it was so cool. Yeah, definitely check out this video. I really like it. Also something very creative that I wouldn't make. So now, actually, that's it for today. Yeah, definitely comment below how you like this style of video, since it's the first review video. Yeah, I don't know if you guys like it or don't like it. I think it can turn out to be something pretty cool, because a lot of these guys you can see are totally under the radar, and it can help a lot of people to really maybe get clients and just get popular with what they do. So I'm not that popular myself, of course, but I think still when I share these works, it can give them a little launch. And as everything grows, I think I can help out people more and more. So that's the idea of this video series. It's basically just helping out and, yeah, helping people getting seen by the world. Yeah, that's it. I hope you liked it. Comment below. Come join the Discord server. I think it can really be fun. And that's it for today. And goodbye.